Welcome to Latte with a Lawyer, a podcast dedicated to bringing you the stories of some of America's most successful lawyers, figuring out what makes them tick, how they creatively solve problems, and how others aspiring to be them can follow in their footsteps.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Latte with a Lawyer. I'm your host, Jonathan Brickman. And we have with us, you're still morning time there, Nancy Spain from the law firm of Hahn Loeser. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Welcome aboard.
Nice to be here.
Excellent. So Latte with a Lawyer, first question, what's your morning beverage of choice to get started?
Black coffee,
Okay.
but it has to be Southeast Asian.
Really?
I don't like it when it's acidic.
Okay. So where do you get Southeast Asian coffee?
It's Sumatra, usually that kind.
Okay, very good.
Available pretty everywhere.
Available, let's say you live in Chicago, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jewel, is that still the
Oh, I don't know about Jewel, but Starbucks makes it, Pete's
Sorry.
makes it, and
okay.
so I'm pretty particular.
Got it. Yeah, I lived in Chicago for about 3.5 years. That's how I know the local grocery chains.
Right.
Anyway, good stuff. So let's talk about your law practice. Tell us what kind of law you practice.
Well, I've been in estate planning for the entire career. We started out doing general estate planning and added a partner in 1989 who had a daughter with a disability and who was very much an advocate for her daughter and that population. And so we added a significant portion of our estate planning is for families with children with disabilities.
Okay.
We've continued to do that. And we work with all of the ways in which persons with disabilities are engaged with the law. So, for example, where there are injuries, birth injuries, and a child is going to need special needs for the rest of their life. And there's a settlement, for example, we work with the family and the personal injury attorney to set that up so that the person is available to get benefits.
Okay.
And there's a special planning that needs to be done with that. So we work with the personal injury attorneys to do that.
Okay. Do you do personal injury work in the law firm as well?
No.
Okay. You just partner with other firms.
Right. The personal injury attorneys use us. And really it's part of their due diligence because there has been case law that if attorneys who do the personal injury get an award for a person where it would kick them off their benefits, that's considered like malpractice for the personal injury attorney not to have considered that.
I see. Oh, interesting. So is that a big part of your practice where it's related to some injury?
I would say it's a good part of the practice. But just generally families with children who have special needs, you do have to figure out what's going to happen when mom and dad are no longer there. So it's been an interesting and unfortunately a very busy practice. And clients become very engaged with us as counselors as well, not just what the legal part of it.
Sure, I'm sure. Yeah, it's very emotional stuff, I would imagine. Yeah. So like what's a typical, is there any kind of typical scenario that you deal with? When you say disabilities, that could be a full range of things.
Right. It could be any kind where a person is going to be eligible for benefits for any reason, Medicaid, for example, or if they need to have disability. If a person works and pays into Social Security, if they become disabled at work or at any, not necessarily from work, but become disabled later, they're entitled to Social Security disability.
Right.
And what are the ways in which planning needs to be taken or done so that they don't lose that eligibility? And some of the benefits are needs-based. So it's important to understand what the rules are to govern how they can keep their benefits.
Okay. How many of the firms do this kind of work? It sounds like a niche practice that you have.
It is kind of a niche practice. I mean, there are, and obviously Chicago's a big market, but
Yeah.
and there are a lot of attorneys who do it. One of the things that's so important about this area, however, is keeping up with the way in which Social Security and Medicaid change their rules, which they seem to do often. And so if you don't keep up with that part of it, just understanding the estate planning part, the wills and trusts and things that are, pretty standard estate planning, it can cause problems because the trust could be considered invalid for their benefits, and obviously you don't want that to happen. So it's important to keep up with the related law. It's just like in estate planning generally, you really need to keep up with the tax law, because what the IRS changes its rules, and which they tend to do.
Right.
Legislature every 4 years changes. It changes
The
the tax law.
administration, as the
So that
administration.
affects estate planning as well. So it's like that. You have to keep up with things, not just what makes a valid will.
So how do you do that? You have your expertise in house. Is that another group, or is that part of?
No, that's part of what we do.
Okay.
And there are national organizations that there's one called Academy of Special Needs Planners, and we all are collegiate and work with each other. And if we have a client in another state, we refer to people we know who do this and know how to do it properly.
Okay. Yeah, I had an attorney on here a while ago that helped people sort of prepare for Medicaid, right? So all the rules around that with disability.
Right. There's a slightly different portion of the practice it's kind of related, which is Medicaid for the elderly, elder planning. And ours is not, we don't do a lot of the elder planning part of it. We do more of how a parent would want to make sure that their child is taken care of for the rest of their life after the parents have passed away.
Right. Okay, interesting. And again, you said you got started in this law because of a personal relationship.
Our third partner, Varnett, in our original law firm, had a daughter with a disability who's now, I think, 50, in her late 50s.
Okay.
The daughter has been amazing, has done Special Olympics and done everything that could possibly be done. And, our partner, Terry Varnett, had been a great advocate for, and has continued to be a great advocate, even though she's retired.
Got it. I mean, with all the stuff going on in politics these days, has that influenced at all the work you're doing, better or worse? I would imagine everything seems to be a little more challenging these days.
It does change, obviously, and however, there's a pretty strong advocacy group called the ARC, A-R-C, the ARC, and it's located. The main one is located in Washington, D.C., and we work with them and have worked with them to help Social Security and other agencies understand the issues and what needs to be done to best help persons with disabilities.
Okay, good. So you have a strong group lobbying for resources.
Right.
Yeah. Excellent. Very good. So, I mean, you've been at this for a while. Like, take us through your journey to become a lawyer and how that happened and why you decided to practice law.
Well, I'm old enough to have gone through the 70s. I graduated in law school in the mid 70s. And I ended up going to law school because it was a challenge, kind of. And my father had originally said I should be an accountant because I was so good with numbers. but I didn't find numbers to be as interesting as words. And so when I was in college, I took a course. I was majored in religion and philosophy, and I took a course in the philosophy of law, and we read a number of very interesting cases that brought up all of the issues that Socrates and Plato and other philosophers had thought were important issues for human persons to think about. And I thought, well, okay, I'm going to go to law school. By that time, unfortunately, my father had died, so he never knew what I chose to do.
Oh, okay.
That's how I started and ended up going to law school.
Oh, interesting. Where'd you go to law school? Where are you from originally? From Chicago area?
Cleveland.
Oh, Cleveland. Okay.
And I went to Case Western Reserve.
Okay, very good. Excellent. You went to undergrad and law school there?
No, I went to undergrad at Connecticut College in
Connecticut College.
New London, Connecticut.
Very good.
My early practice has some interesting, funny stories of being asked all the time, are you a lawyer? Are you a lawyer? And even though, back then you wore the suit with the shirt and everything to look like a lawyer, and I'd still get asked if I was a lawyer. I did have one funny time in front of a federal judge. He had been kind of tongue waggled or whatever by a woman who said to him, you can't call me miss, you must call me MS. And he said, but I did say miss. And she apparently misheard him. Anyway, from then on, he always called female attorneys MS instead of Ms. or Miss or anything, just to make it clear that it was MS. And the thing is, when I was there, he would say MS Spain. And we all joked that it sounded like a battleship from a country in Europe.
Right, that's right.
MS Spain.
That's very funny. Yeah. MS. Where's the name Spain come from? I haven't heard that last name before.
It's actually Irish. And when the Spanish Armada came up around England and the ships made it across on the North Sea past Scotland and were desperate to land somewhere, Ireland was still Catholic. And of course, England was going through the Reformation and the change to the Church of England, the Anglican Church. So that was what the war was all about.
Okay.
And so the straggling Spaniards who ended up in Ireland, rather than trying to pronounce their names, the Irish just called them Spain.
Ah,
so
very good. So that name goes way back then.
Goes way back.
Way back. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting. What kind of work did your dad do? Where did the influence come from? Besides, he wanted you to be an accountant. Was he a business person, an accountant?
He was in business. He was a builder.
Okay.
Construction builder.
Any other lawyers in your family?
My daughter is a lawyer. One daughter is a lawyer.
Oh, great.
And she works. She worked for HUD helping homelessness for veterans, and still continues to do that in a consulting job. My other daughter, who could have been a lawyer, remembers everything, is now at ESPN, Sarah Spain. She does sports reporting and things like that.
Oh, very good. On national, so if I turn on ESPN, I'm going to see your daughter?
Well, she's not. She used to have a radio show Monday through Friday, 3 hours every night, but has recently moved on to doing some other things. But she writes for them. She appears on Around the Horn and things like that. So,
oh, very good. I'll have to keep an eye out for her. That's exciting. Okay, good. Any influencers in your life that sort of guide you in your thinking? Doesn't have to be law, but anybody?
You should have told me about this question before.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Not really. I don't think there's one particular person who guides on the law. There are some lawyers in our national association who are always there to answer questions, and I really, appreciate the camaraderie. And I think that there is a difference in the area that we practice. There's a lot of empathy amongst the clients and their lawyer, and so I think the lawyers amongst each other also are very empathetic and share their information.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not a lawyer, but I have found in my discussions with many lawyers across many different disciplines that pretty collegial as a group. People like to share and collaborate, which is great. I mean, I've been to a bunch of these events and I've seen it in action, and people sort of, deconstructing cases and how they approached it as a group. So that's great.
Yeah.
I think that's how you learn. So it's good. I think I like to joke and say I could probably be a paralegal by now. I've had enough of these conversations. I don't want to be a lawyer, but I've listened to enough across many different groups. And the one thing I would say is that, and you've expressed it, that there's usually something that drives the lawyer, whatever they do, whether it's commercial litigation, helping disability cases, et cetera. There's something that drives people, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just mercenary, and so that's been interesting to hear that consistently. You find
some people who do burn out end up going into something, and the law is helpful in whatever they do next, even if it's not practicing law.
Yes. I would imagine it's easy to burn out, but a lot of things it's easy too. It's hard work. It's nothing is really easy if you want to be good at it. You have to work hard, right?
Yeah,
for sure. So what do you think? What are the traits you think for the kind of work you do to be successful and be good at it?
Well, the kind of work I do, I think the most important thing is to be able to listen and understand and be empathetic about a client's needs. And obviously with estate planning, understanding all the intricacies and changes in the law. So it is paying attention to all of that, keeping current. And an ability to express yourself in the English language so that other people can understand it, hopefully not too legalese.
And do you litigate at all, or is that not part of your practice, Jeff?
Well, litigate, not in the sense of a litigator.
Right.
However, I go to probate court when I need to, or chancery court when I need to, in order to, because a lot of the states where there is a settlement, as I spoke about, for a person with a disability, with a PI attorney, there's a guardianship involved, and so you have to deal with the courts and other persons to be able to spend the money, to save it, to invest it, to work with banks and other trust companies to be able to manage the money. So, and sometimes there are fights. So there's some, but it's not serious litigation.
Okay.
Generally.
Yeah. I see. Okay. Interesting. And how big's the firm? How many lawyers do you have now in the combined entity?
All of them, it's about 150 partners.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, 150 lawyers.
Okay.
And their offices in San Diego, in Cleveland, Columbus, Naples, and Fort Myers.
Oh, okay.
Florida.
Where's the headquarters of the firm?
In Cleveland.
Cleveland. Okay, that's where it started. And what does the rest of the firm do? What other practices?
They do pretty much everything, but not criminal.
Okay.
But I think pretty much everything else there's somebody who does it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So it's a good sized firm, large firm.
Right.
Okay. And you have an office in Chicago. People work remotely. How are things working these days post pandemic?
There is an office in Chicago. Some of the lawyers do certainly work remotely.
Yeah.
And some staff do. I find I'm kind of old enough that I'm kind of a paper person.
Yeah.
Not every, and we have files from the 80s. So those were not in the cloud.
Right.
And because they're wills and trusts, a lot of them, the person is just now dying and the will is needed. So we do have a rather large bunch of paper. So, and yes, we do have an office here that is recently built out. We're actually about to make a physical move to the new office. So that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah. I'm always curious if people are going back into the office or remaining remote.
Well, we are finding it's a challenge to have people say, oh, then no problem, I'll be there 5 days a week.
Yeah.
But certain kinds of law, you really need to be there.
Right.
And I in my practice, I do. You have to refer back to the file, and frankly, it's easier to find it there than necessarily on the computer.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
It's not on the computer.
Yeah. Are people digitizing those old documents? I mean, you can always do that too.
Right. We are. We're in the process of doing that.
Okay. Yeah.
Digitizing everything and getting rid of a lot of the paper, but it's a big process. We have several thousand files.
Yeah. Well, listen, I know that there's actually a project right now going to digitize the Vatican, the documents in the Vatican. So it can be done.
Yeah.
And it makes it easier for everybody. I mean, not that you can't continue to use paper, but when you have access to the documents digitally, it just opens up all kinds of.
Well, and out of town people. I mean,
right.
I'm involved with the Newberry Library that's doing that, and which is a research library, and they have people all over the world who use their digital services. So it's amazing how much that has been a boon for everybody.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. With the volume of things being published with e-discovery, right? There's no way you can comb through all of that information unless you take advantage of technology, right?
Right.
So is the firm employing all those kind of technologies too? I would assume.
Yeah, there's a great IT department.
Okay.
Much better than what we had.
Yeah.
In terms of being ready 24/7. So.
Yeah, that's terrific. But I would imagine, somebody, maybe yourself, you have to sort of reinvent yourself a little bit, right? To use those kind of things.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Excellent. Are you still recruiting? Are you recruiting attorneys to your practice?
Yes, actually, we are looking to add people because we still have a lot of work.
Okay.
And obviously, people come back because they want their documents revised because their executor is no longer able to do it, and they need to make sure someone's able to do it. So there's a lot of recurring business as well.
Okay, good. Well, here's your chance. You can do public service announcement right now. Good.
Right.
So just to round it off here, I mean, just final words that you want to leave about the firm and your practice and the best way to connect with you if they want to learn more.
Well, the best way to connect with me is probably email, and it's nspain@hahnlaw.com. So nspain@hahnlaw.com.
Okay. Good. And just about your practice, any final words you want to leave about that?
No, I just think that it's a wonderful group of people, and if you need help, we're going to be able to help you.
Okay, good. And nationally, you can help people.
Right. Within the jurisdictions generally, and then we have contacts, and especially with the special needs area, because of the national group that we're involved in, we certainly can give suggestions of people in other jurisdictions people to use.
Okay, terrific. Excellent. Good. Well, interesting. Good stuff. I now know a little bit more about the type of law you practice, so thank you.
Right.
Anyway, for everybody, again, Nancy Spain and Hahn Loeser, and this is sponsored by EmotionTrac, which is a legal tech platform, and we help litigators prepare for mediation and trials with our Insights platform. Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate the time with you today.
Oh, thank you. Nice to meet you.
You bet.
Goodbye.